जय हिंद दोस्तों, फिर से आपका स्वागत है हमारे इस भाजीराम एंड रवि के प्रीलिम क्विक रिवीजन सीरीज़ में, जो 2024 का पार्ट 1 है। या मई से लेकर दिसंबर 2023 तक का है। और आप लोग जानते हैं कि इसका एग्ज़ाम 26 मई को होने वाला है। तो इसमें हम लोगों ने कई सारे सेक्शन इसका कर लिया था और यह कंटिन्यू सीरीज़ है, तो आप लोग इसे ज़रूर देखें। और अगर पहले के वीडियोज़ आप लोगों ने नहीं देखे तो इसका लिंक मैं डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में डाल दूँगा, आप लोग जाइए उसे भी चेक कीजिए। और उसके साथ हम लोगों ने विजन आईएएस का PT 365 इन्वायरमेंट कर लिया है, पॉलिटी हो गया है, इकोनॉमिक्स हो गया है। तो आप लोग उसे भी देखिए और उसे देखकर अपनी तैयारी को और मजबूत कीजिए। तो यह कंटिन्यू सीरीज़ है। आपसे बस ये अनुरोध है कि अगर आप लोग हमारे चैनल पर नए हैं और अभी तक हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो प्लीज़ 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 इसे सब्सक्राइब करके हमें सपोर्ट करें, क्योंकि आपके सपोर्ट की हमें बहुत आवश्यकता पड़ती है और हम इससे काफ़ी लाभान्वित होते हैं। वीडियो को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा शेयर करें उन लोगों तक जो इस बार के UPSC प्री देने वाले हैं, ताकि जो भी लोग करंट अफेयर में थोड़ा बहुत दिक्कत महसूस करते हैं उन तक इस वीडियो को पहुँचाएँ और उनके करंट अफेयर की दिक्कत को दूर करने की कोशिश करें। वीडियो को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा बार देखें ताकि आपका रिवीजन अच्छे से हो सके और आप लोग एग्जाम में अच्छा परफॉर्म कर सके। तो आइए आज चलते हैं हमारे आज के टॉपिक पे। तो आज का हमारा टॉपिक यहाँ शुरू होता है, परिवार पहचान पत्र। ठीक है, शुरू करने से पहले फिर से आपसे ये अनुरोध रहेगा कि अगर आप लोग हमारे चैनल पर नए हैं और अभी तक हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो प्लीज़ 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 इसे सब्सक्राइब करके हमें सपोर्ट करें। कमेंट बॉक्स में जरूर बताएंगे कि आपको हमारी यह पहल कैसी लगी और वीडियो को लाइक करना जरूर। ठीक है, शुरू करते हैं। परिवार पहचान पत्र। परिवार पहचान पत्र स्कीम वॉज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड बाय हरियाणा गवर्नमेंट इन ईयर 2020 टू आइडेंटिफाई ईच family in Haryana and keep their basic data provided with the consent of the family in a digital format. PPP ID. It is a unique 8-digit identity number that is issued to each family residing in Haryana as a single unit. All the residing family are required to enroll obligatory in this scheme to avoid yourself of paperless and faceless various government services and social security scheme. PPP और आधार में क्या है अंतर देख लेते हैं। It goes beyond the basic identity detail and contains the socio-economic data of the family. It verifies each field of information during registration through a specific procedure. आधार में क्या होगा, तो it only contains the unique identity for information such as fingerprint, iris scan, face ID, address detail, contact detail, etc. It only verifies the identity of the person during registration. अगला है अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ DGP। कंटेक्स्ट क्या है, तो पंजाब असेंबली पास पब्लिक पुलिस अमेंडमेंट बिल 2023। द बिल amends the procedure to select Director General of Police DGP and guides the path for the state to apply him or appoint him or her. Procedure of DGP's appointment क्या है, तो Director General of Police DGP is a 3-star rank and the highest ranking of police officer in state. The DGP is the head of the state police force. He or she is appointed as per the guidelines of Supreme Court Judge on Police Reform in Prakash Singh vs Union of India 2006. DGP of the state shall be selected by the state government from amongst the 3 senior most officers of the department who has been recommended by UPSC. Once selected for the job, he should have a minimum tenure of at least 2 years, irrespective of his date of superannuation. The DGP can be removed by the state government in consultation with the state secretary commission consequent upon any action taken against him under All India Services Discipline and Appeal rules of following his conviction in a court of law in a criminal offence or in a case of corruption, or if he or she otherwise incapacitated from discharging his duty. 2018 गाइडलाइंस क्या है, द कोर्ट रूल्ड दैट नो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट कैन अपॉइंट देयर फेवरेट police officer as the acting DGP, a concept non considering in the 2006 police reform judgment. To prevent this, a state were directed to submit proposal to the UPSC at least 3 months before the DGP's retirement date and ensure continuity of the appointed officer. अगला पंचायत डेवलपमेंट इंडेक्स। पंचायत डेवलपमेंट इंडेक्स इज अ computation source for guiding panchayats across the country based on the development work carried by them towards the achievement of LSDGs, localization of sustainable development goals. The 7 LSDGs consist of following themes. कौन कौन सा थीम है, तो poverty free and enhanced livelihood in village, healthy village, child friendly village, clean and green village, water sufficient village, village with self sufficient infrastructure, socially just and socially secured village, विलेज विद गुड गवर्नेंस एंड वुमेन फ्रेंडली विलेज। अगला प्रिपेयर्ड बाय कौन, किसके द्वारा, तो ए कमेटी कॉन्स्टिट्यूटेड बाय द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ पंचायती राज कंसिस्टिंग ऑफ मेंबर फ्रॉम डिफरेंट मिनिस्ट्रीज एंड डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ यूनियन एंड स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है तो टू assess the ground realities of development in panchayat and the efforts made by the local government in implementing various development programs, realizing the developmental target and achieving the SDGs. Mechanism क्या है तो PDI provides ranking for panchayats at different level including district, block and village. The panchayat will be ranked in following categories based on their sources. कौन कौन सा तो highlights में है क्या है तो data from 4 districts in Maharashtra namely Pune, Sangli, Satara and Solapur were compiled on pilot basis. 70% of the panchayats from this area are in grade C and 27% are in grade B. The pilot study shows how no attention has been paid to them like being women friendly or identify the kind of development required. यहाँ पे ग्रेड दिया हुआ है, स्कोर दिया हुआ है तो ग्रेड ए प्लस है एवं 90%, ग्रेड ए है 75 to 90%, ग्रेड बी है 60% to 75%, ग्रेड सी इज़ 40 to 60% एंड ग्रेड डी इज़ बिलो 40%. बिहार कास्ट सर्वे एंड कास्ट सेंसस फॉर इंडिया क्या है तो देखते हैं. हिस्ट्री ऑफ द कास्ट बेस्ड सर्वे इन इंडिया क्या है तो फर्स्ट इंट्रोड्यूस अंडर ब्रिटिश कॉलोनियल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन in 1881 and continued till the 1931 census. From 1951 to 2011, each census conducted in post-independence India has included information on scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, but not on other caste group. Prior to this period, caste data was available in every census until 1931. In 1941, although caste-based data were collected, it was not made publicly available. Census versus survey क्या है तो census come within the legislative power of the parliament as only the center is in power to conduct a census under the Census Act 1948. Article 246 Parliament's power to exclusively legislate on any of the matter enumerated in list 1 in the 7th schedule. However, entry 45 in the concurrent list shares similarities with entry 94 in the union list as both empower the collection of statistics to verify information aimed at achieving the economic and social planning objective outlined in entry 20 of the concurrent list. The Supreme Court allowed the state government to go ahead in August after the state submitted it was a survey and assured that no one's data would be devolved. Census versus SECC मतलब सोशियो इकोनॉमिक कास्ट सेंसस SECC. सेंसस पहले देख लेते क्या है तो इट इज़ द ऑफिशियल कोड ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन लिविंग इन द कंट्री अलॉन्ग विद देयर basis details like age, gender, job, income, etc. to help the government implement better policies, access resources, map social changes and conduct delimitation exercises. It is conducted by the Office of the Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India, Ministry of Home Affairs. Its data is confidential under the Census Act 1948. Socio-economic caste census SECC क्या है तो it is a study of the socio-economic status of rural and urban household and allows ranking of household based on predefined parameters. In rural area, it is conducted by the Department of Rural Development DRDO and in urban area is under the administrative jurisdiction of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs MOHUA. Its data is open to use by the government department for extending benefit to the population. The SECC data excluding caste data was finalized and published by the two ministries in 2016. However, due to inaccuracy, the raw data was never disclosed. Guardian Minister क्या है तो Guardian Minister is a cabinet level minister appointed by the state government to oversee the development of a specific district within the state. The position is typically held by senior politicians from the ruling party who act as a liaison between state government and the district administration, ensuring that the district receives the necessary resources and support to meet its development goals. A minister may serve as a guardian minister for multiple districts. The post of guardian minister was introduced to bring to attention the implementation of government policies, reform, public welfare scheme in assigned district. Role and responsibilities क्या है तो he oversees the execution of various state government scheme and program in the district and ensures smooth functioning of district administration. He is the ex officio chairman of District Planning Development Committee DPDC, responsible for the implementation of developmental and infrastructure scheme in each district. He is the final decision making authority on matters related to the expenditure of DPDC funds. Therefore, the post becomes important for political parties as it gives them control of development fund allocation allocated for the district. अगला इंटेलिजेंट ग्रीवांसेस मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम IGMS 2.0 and CPGRAMS. Recently, the IGMS 2.0 of the Department of Administrative Reform and Public Grievances DARPG was launched. About IGMS 2.0 implemented by IIT Kanpur. It is a public grievance portal and a major upgradation of centralized public grievance redress and monitoring system CPGRAMS portal using artificial intelligence machine learning in terms of its capabilities. Objective क्या है तो to provide instant tabular analysis of grievances filed and disposed, state-wise and district-wise grievances filed, and ministry-wise data to help the officials identify the root cause of the grievances. Key features क्या है तो it will help the DARPG in creating the draft letter for selected scheme, ministry, and expenditure the grievances redressal process by the concerned ministry or department. It has been enabled with artificial intelligence AI capacity. CPGRAMS Centralized Public Grievance Redressal and Monitoring System. It is an online platform available to the citizen 24/7 to lodge their grievances to the public authorities on any subject related to services delivery, and a single portal connected to all the ministries, Department of Government of India and State. CPGRAMS maintains a centralized database of grievances, making it easier for authorities to track and monitor the status of complaints. This ensures a systematic and transparent approach to grievance resolution. Each ministry and state has role-based access to this system. DARPG Department of Administrative Reform and Public Grievances क्या है तो DARPG comes under the Ministry of Personal Public Grievance and Pension. It endeavors to document and disseminate successful good governance practices by way of audio, visual, media, and publications. It also undertakes activities in the field of international exchange and cooperation to promote public service reforms. DARPG has launched the CPGRAMS to provide the facility to lodge a grievance online for any geographical location. Like Grievance Redressal Assessment and Index GRAI. Recently, the Union Ministry of Public Grievance and Pension launched the GRAI 2022. It was conceptualized and designed by the DARPG, Government of India. Objective क्या है तो to present an organization-wise competitive picture and provide valuable insight about strength and areas of improvement regarding the grievance redressal mechanism. 89 central ministry and department were ashamed and ranked based on a comprehensive index in the dimension of पहला efficiency, दूसरा feedback, तीसरा domain, चौथा organizational commitment, and corresponding 12 indicators. To compute the index, data between January and December 2022 was used from the centralized public grievance redressal and management system CPGRAMS. Key facts क्या है तो it is an online platform available to the citizen 24/7 to lodge their grievance to the public authorities on any subject related to service delivery. It is a single portal connected to all ministries, the department of the government of India and states. It is also accessible to the citizen through a standalone mobile application. Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council LAHDC क्या है तो creation 2 councils LAHDC Leh in 1995 and LAHDC Kargil in 2003 were created under the Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council Act 1997. The Autonomous Hill Council work with village panchayat to take decision on economic development, healthcare, education, land use, taxation, and local governance, which are further reviewed at the block headquarters in the presence of Chief Executive Councillor and Executive Councillor. Composition क्या है तो both the council comprise of 30 councillor, each 26 councillor elected and 4 nominated. A chairperson is elected from among the member who also serve as Chief Executive Councillor for the council and hold the rank and power of a cabinet minister. It also consists of 4 executive councillors who possess the rank of and status of deputy minister. The deputy commissioner of the district is designated as the chief executive officer LAHDC and holds control over the overall district administration, execution of work, and maintaining law and order. Power क्या है तो the role involves development plans, budgeting for district, implementing movement scheme, promoting language and culture, public health, education, local road transport, small scale industry, non-conventional energy and tourism, and collecting tax and fees with their jurisdiction. Aadhaar Enable Payment Services AEPS. AEPS is a type of payment system that is based on unique identification number and allows Aadhaar card holder to seamlessly make financial transaction through Aadhaar-based authentication. It is a bank-led model which allows online interoperable financial transaction of POS point of sale and micro ATM through the business correspondent BC bank mitra of any bank using the Aadhaar authentication. The model removes the need for OTPs, bank account detail, and other financial detail. It allows fund transfer using only the bank name, Aadhaar number, and fingerprint captured during Aadhaar enrollment. Neither Unique Identification Authority of India (UIDAI) nor National Payment Corporation of India (NCPI) mentions clearly whether AEPS is enabled by default. Cashless India, a website managed and run by Maitri, says the service does not require any activation, with the only requirement being that the user's bank account should be linked with their Aadhaar number. Action Taken Report ATR module launched for auditing Panchayat accounts. क्या तो the Ministry of Panchayati Raj MOPR launched the Action Taken Report ATR module for auditing all the Panchayat accounts. About ATR module क्या है तो this module provides status of action taken by audit observations, addressed or unresolved issues so that the audit report by displayed in public domain. Implemented by कौन सा तो Ministry of Panchayati Raj MOPR. Background क्या है तो according to the operational guidelines issued by 15 Finance Commission FC, state must ensure that all ties of panchayats constituting 100% of rural local bodies have audited account for the 2021-2022 period through the Audit Online platform. Audit Online was introduced in 2019 as an open source application to facilitate internal and external audit of government department and Panchayati Raj institution. To achieve accountability and to ensure the online audit process, ATR has been launched. Objective क्या है तो to provide a more structural approach to the audit process, ensuring clarity on the action taken in response to audit finding. Shreyans Scheme. It is an umbrella scheme under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Shreyas is a program basket comprising the initiative of three central ministries, namely the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship MOSD&E, and the Ministry of Labour and Employment MOLE, namely the National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme NAPS, the National Career Service NCS etc. It will place two ongoing central sector scheme for other backward class OBC and other family, that is पहला नेशनल फेलोशिप फॉर OBC, दूसरा डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर सेंट्रल सेक्टर स्कीम ऑफ इंटरेस्ट सब्सिडी ऑन एजुकेशनल लोन फॉर ओवरसीज स्टडीज़ फॉर OBCs एंड इकोनॉमिकली बैकवर्ड क्लास EBCs. ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है तो एम्पावरिंग OBC एंड EBC स्टूडेंट्स एजुकेशनली बाई awarding them fellowship, financial assistance for obtaining equality higher education and interest subsidy on educational loan for overseas studies. Component क्या है तो नेशनल फेलोशिप फॉर OBC to provide financial assistance to the OBC student through 1000 junior research fellowship. This 1000 slot will be over and above the OBC students selected under the normal reservation policy of the government. It is implemented by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment through the designated central nodal agency, Dr. Ambedkar Scheme to Interest Subsidy on Education Loan for Overseas Student for OBCs and EBC. To provide an interest subsidy to OBC and EBC student on a moratorium period for education loan for Masters, MPhil and PhD degree of overseas. The maximum loan will be rupees 20 lakh. It is implemented by Canara Bank. AINA Dashboard AAINA. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs MOHUA recently launched the AINA Dashboard for Cities portal for comprising similarly placed urban local bodies ULBs and promoting peer learning about ULBs. Objective क्या है तो information to provide information on status and program of the ULBs based on 5 thematic areas. Inspiration by healthy competition क्या है to help the ULBs to monitor their performance and learn by comprising it with other information collection on 5 thematic areas. कौन कौन सा? तो political and administrative, finance, planning, citizen centric governments, delivery on basic services. अगला डिजिटल पब्लिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एंड इंडिया स्टॉक. तो डिजिटल पब्लिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर DPI refers to block or platforms such as digital identification, payment infrastructure and data exchange solution that help countries deliver essential services to their people, empowering citizens and improving lives by enabling digital inclusion. India through India Stock is the moniker for a set of open API and digital public good, became the first country to develop all three fundamental DPIs: digital identity Aadhaar, real-time fast payment UPI, platform to safely share personal data without compromising privacy, account aggregate built on the data empowerment protection architecture or DEPA. DEPA is a joint public-private effort for an improved data governance approach. It creates a digital framework that allows users to share their data on their own terms through a third-party entity, consent manager. Other component of Indian DPI include कौन कौन सा? तो DC यात्रा, biometric enabled seamless travel based experience based on financial recognition system FRS. अगला डिजी लॉकर, a platform used for storing document and verifying credentials. Open Network for Digital Commerce ONDC, an alternative e-commerce platform promoting open network for exchange of goods and services. अगला aspirational block program. The aspirational block program is on the line of the aspirational district program that was launched in 2018 and cover 112 districts across the country. This new program is aimed at improving performance of block lagging on various development parameters. This will enable holistic development in those areas that require added assistance. The program will cover 50 districts across 31 state and union territory initially. Over half of this block are in 6 states: Uttar Pradesh 68 block, Bihar 61, Madhya Pradesh 42, Jharkhand 34, Orissa 29 and West Bengal 29. What is aspirational district program? It was launched in 2018 and aimed to transform districts that have slowly relatively lesser progress in key social areas. 3C strategy. कौन कौन सा? The broad contour of the program. कौन सा? तो पहला convergence of central and state scheme. दूसरा collaboration of central state level प्रभारी officer and district collector. फिर अगला competition among district driven by a mass movement. Parameter for ranking क्या है? तो the ranking is based on the incremental program made across 49 key performance indicator KPIs under 5 broad socio-economic theme. से 5 को कौन कौन सा? तो पहला हेल्थ एंड न्यूट्रिशन 30%, दूसरा एजुकेशन वो भी 30%, एग्रीकल्चर एंड वाटर रिसोर्स 20%, फिनेंशियल इंक्लूजन एंड स्किल डेवलपमेंट 10% एंड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर 10%. नेक्स्ट इज सारना कोड. Tribal committees of 5 states, including Jharkhand, Orissa, and Assam, demanded that the central government recognize their regional as Sarna and ensure their enumeration under this category during the upcoming census. About Sarna region क्या है? तो followers of Sarna faith are nature worshipper. The holy grail of the Sarna faith is Jal, water, jungle, forest, Jamin, land. The follower pray for the tree and hills while believing in protecting the forest area. Believer of Sarna faith do not practice ideal worship, nor do they adhere to the concept of Varna system, heaven, hell, etc. They are concentrated mainly in the tribal belt state of Orissa, Jharkhand, Bihar, West Bengal, and Assam. Several surveys and reports have indicated that over 50 lakh tribal people in the entire country put their region as Sarna in 2011 census, although it was not a code. अगला फ्रीडम ऑन द नेट 2023 रिपोर्ट. कंटेक्स्ट क्या है? तो ए रिपोर्ट फ्रीडम ऑफ द नेट 2023, द रिप्रेसिव पावर ऑफ आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस रेड फ्लैग्ड द इंक्रीजिंग यूज ऑफ AI by government for censorship and spread of disinformation. Published by Freedom House, a non-profit organization based on Washington DC, established in 1941 and best known for political advocacy surrounding issues of democracy, political freedom and human rights. This report represents the 13th edition of an annual study on human rights online. It evaluates internet freedom in 70 countries, encompassing a significant portion of the world's interest user. Key point क्या है? तो India's internet freedom score improved by 2 points, placing its 51st in the global ranking. Indian government's net neutrality rule adopted in July 2018 are considered among the world's strongest. अगला विकसित भारत संकल्प यात्रा एंड द काशी तमिल संगम. PM Modi on 2-day visit to Varanasi addresses the Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra event. He is also scheduled to inaugurate the second edition of the Kashi Tamil Sangam during the visit. विकसित भारत संकल्प यात्रा क्या है तो इट इज़ अ गवर्नमेंट इनिशिएटिव being undertaken across the country to raise awareness and track the implementation of flagship central scheme. This include program like Ayushman Bharat, Ujjwala, PM सुरक्षा बीमा, PM स्वनिधि etc. एम क्या है तो रीच आउट टू द वल्नरेबल हु आर एलिजिबल अंडर वेरियस स्कीम बट हैव नॉट अवेल्ड बेनिफिट सो फार. Dissemination of information and generating awareness about scheme. Interaction with beneficiaries of government scheme through their personal stories, experience sharing and. तमिल काशी संगम क्या है तो काशी तमिल संगम is an initiative by Government of India as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and to uphold the spirit of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat. The objective of the program is to celebrate, reaffirm and rediscover the age-old link between Tamil Nadu and Kashi, two of the country's ancient seats of learning. IIT Madras and BHU are the two implementing agencies for the program. The first edition of the Sangam was held in 2022. This year it was held from 17th to 31st December. रेलवे ऑफिसर टू बी ट्रेंड इन डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है तो द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रेलवे हैज़ मेड ट्रेनिंग इन डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट मैंडेटरी फॉर रेलवे ऑफिसर्स. द नेशनल अकेडमी ऑफ इंडियन रेलवे NAIR Vadodara and the Indian Railway Institute of Disaster Management IRIDM Bengaluru would work together in implementing the training program. NAIR is a training institute for Indian Railway IR officers. It was established in 1930 as the Railway Staff College and moved to its current location in Vadodara, Gujarat, 1952. IRIDM is a national institute that offers disaster management course and training. IRIDM envisioned in High-Level Committee HLC on Disaster Management in Indian Railway was commissioned in 2019. Commissioner of Railway Safety CSR headquarter क्या तो लखनऊ उत्तर प्रदेश में. CSR is a statutory body. It is headed by Chief Commissioner of Railway Safety. It deals with matters related to safety of rail travel and operations as laid down in the Railway Act 1989. Investigating seriously train accident is one of the key responsibility of CRS. The Commissioner also makes recommendation to the government. CRS does not report to the Ministry of Railway of the Railway Board. It is under the administrative control of Ministry of Civil Aviation MOCA. Road crash death in India continue to rise. WHO का रिपोर्ट है उसमें एज पर WHO ग्लोबल स्टेटस रिपोर्ट ऑन रोड सेफ्टी 2023 एनुअल नंबर ऑफ रोड ट्रैफिक डेथ हैज़ dropped by 5% to 1.19 million per year. India, however, registered a 15% increase in fatalities. The WHO Global Status Report on Road Safety 2023 is the fifth in a series measuring progress in reducing road traffic death. This report was proposed with support from Bloomberg Philanthropies. This report covered progress between 2010 and 2021 and set a baseline for efforts to the United Nations Decade on Action 2021-2030 target to halve road traffic death by 2030. The United Nations General Assembly proclaimed the Decade of Action for Road Safety 2021-30 in September 2020. The goal is to reduce road traffic death and injuries by 2030. In India, the number of deaths reported due to road crashes in 2018 was 1,50,787 and it rose to 1,53,792 in 2021. The number was 1.3 lakh in 2010. अगला है ग्राम मानचित्र. The Ministry of Panchayati Raj recently launched the Geographic Information System GIS application ग्राम मानचित्र. तो वेबसाइट इसका क्या है ग्राम मानचित्र .gov.in to encourage the स्पेशल प्लानिंग ऑफ ग्राम पंचायत. ऑब्जेक्टिव और इधर डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया हुआ है. तो पहला है फैसिलिटेट एंड सपोर्ट इनेबल ग्राम पंचायत इन प्लानिंग एट देयर लेवल यूजिंग जियो स्पेशल टेक्नोलॉजी वाया ए यूनिफाइड जियो स्पेशल प्लेटफॉर्म. दिस एड विजुअलाइजेशन ऑफ डेवलपमेंटल वर्क अक्रॉस सेक्टर्स एंड प्रोवाइड डिसीजन सपोर्ट सिस्टम फॉर ग्राम पंचायत डेवलपमेंट प्लान GPDP. एम एक्शन सॉफ्ट क्या है? तो लॉन्च्ड ए मोबाइल बेस्ड सोल्यूशन एम एक्शन सॉफ्ट टू कैप्चर फोटोज विथ geotag for works with assets as output. The geotags assets will be accessible on Gram Manchitra, enhancing the visualization of various development of work in Gram Panchayat. अगला geotagging of assets. Implement geotagging in 3 stages. पहला before starting work, दूसरा during work and तीसरा है upcoming completion. This establishes a comprehensive repository of information on works and assets related to natural resource management, water harvesting, proofing, sanitation, agriculture, check dams and irrigation channels. Planning tools क्या है? तो utilize GIS technology on the Gram Manchitra application to assist Gram Panchayat officers in developing realistic and achievable development plans. Provide decision support tools for identifying potential project sites, asset tracking, establishing project cost and assessing project impact. अगला साइबर सुरक्षित भारत इनिशिएटिव द नेशनल ई गवर्नेंस डिसीजन NEGD डिवीजन ऑफ मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक एंड इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी मैत्री रिसेंटली ऑर्गेनाइज द 40th चीफ इंफॉर्मेशन सिक्योरिटी ऑफिसर्स CISO डीप डाइव ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम अंडर द साइबर सुरक्षित भारत इनिशिएटिव अबाउट नेशनल ई गवर्नेंस डिवीजन NEGD क्या है? तो इस्टेब्लिश्ड इन 2009 by the Maitri, the NEGD in and independent business division under the Digital India Corporation, erstwhile Media Lab Asia, and has been playing a pivotal role in supporting Maitri in program management and implementation of e-governance project, providing technological and advisory support to ministries, departments, both at central and state level, along with other governmental organizations. It has developed and is managing several national public digital platforms such as DigiLocker, Umang, API Setu, Potion Tracker, Academic Bank of Credits, National Academic Depository, National AI Portal, India Stock, Global etc. अगला साइबर सुरक्षित भारत इनिशिएटिव. It is the first public-private partnership PPP model of its kind launched by Maitri in cooperation with NEGD and various industry parameters like Microsoft, Intel etc. to fortify India's cyber security system with ranked to the government's vision of digital India. This initiative includes National Information Center NIC, Computer Emergency Response Team India CERTIN, and Center for Development of Advanced Computing CDAC are knowledge partner from the government side. Objective क्या था? To spread awareness about cyber crime and build the capacity of Chief Information Security Officer Cisco and frontline IT officials across all government departments. अगला है NCRB 2022 रिपोर्ट ऑन क्राइम इन इंडिया. द नेशनल क्राइम रिकॉर्ड ब्यूरो NCRB recently released its annual report titled Crime in India for the year 2022, which provide a big picture of both trades in crime registration, as it include data ranging from crime against women to economic and financial crime. About NCRB क्या? Established in 1986, NCRB functions under the Ministry of Home Affairs, headquartered in New Delhi, as a cleaning housing of information on crime and criminals, operating at national and international level. Objective क्या है इसका? तो to provide training facility to crime record bureau personnel, catch the data processing and training need for computerization of central police organization, to function as the national storehouse of fingerprint record of convicted person including foreigner, and help trace interstate criminals. फंक्शन इसका क्या है? तो टू स्टोर, कोऑर्डिनेट एंड डिसेमिनेट इंफॉर्मेशन ऑन इंटरस्टेट एंड इंटरनेशनल criminal among states, national investigating agencies, court and prosecutor, to collect and process crime statistics at the national level, to receive from the supply data to panel and correlation agencies for remand, parole, premature release etc., to coordinate, guide and assist the state crime record bureau. अचीवमेंट क्या है? तो इट मॉनिटर्ड, कोऑर्डिनेटेड and implemented the crime and criminal tracking network and system CCTNS project in 2009. In 2017, it launched the National Digital Police Portal, which allows police officers to look for a criminal or suspect on the CCTNS database and give citizen and services such as online complaint filing etc. NCRB with the National Informatics Center NIC implements interoperable criminal justice system ICJS to enable seamless transfer of data and information. रिपोर्ट पब्लिश में क्या है तो क्राइम इन इंडिया, रिपोर्ट ऑन मिसिंग वुमेन एंड चाइल्ड इन इंडिया, प्रिजन स्टैटिस्टिक्स इंडिया, एकेडमिकल एक्सीडेंटल डेथ एंड सुसाइड। अब अगला इंटरनेशनल न्यूज़, उससे पहला है वाशिंगटन डिक्लेरेशन। तो इन अप्रैल 2023 साउथ कोरिया प्रेसिडेंट यून सुक Yeol arrived in the US to commemorate the 70th anniversary of US-South Korea bilateral relations. The highlight of the visit was the signing of the Washington Declaration as the nuclear deterrence strategy. Key highlight of the Washington Declaration क्या है तो as per the agreement, an American nuclear ballistic submarine would be deployed in the Korean Peninsula. A nuclear consultative group would be formed to formulate principle of joint response tactics. South Korea would receive intel from the US regarding nuclear advancement, and US will strengthen South Korea's nuclear deterrence capabilities through joint military training program and an annual intergovernmental stimulation. Conflict between North Korea and South Korea, क्या conflict है तो देखते हैं. After World War II, USA and USSR were to decide what should be done with their enemies Japan imperial possession. In August 1945, Korean Peninsula was divided into half along the 30th parallel. The Russians occupied the area north of the line, and the United States occupied the area to its south. In 1950, North Korea invaded South Korea, starting the 3-year Korean War. As a result, American troops had entered the war in South on South Korea's behalf. Finally, in July 1953, the Korean War came to an end by signing of the Armistice Agreement in 1953. Since the signing of the Armistice Agreement, North Korea and South Korea have been divided by a 4-kilometer wide demilitarized zone stretching 250 kilometers. अगला है इंडिया टू ट्रेन ASEAN women in United Nations peacekeeping operations. To further expand the India-ASEAN tie, the Raksha Mantri has announced initiative for women in US peacekeeping operations. This proposal were made at the inaugural India-ASEAN Defence Ministry meeting held in November 2022 at Siem Reap, Cambodia. In all, 20 peacekeepers, 2 from each member state, would be trained. UN peacekeeper provides security and the political and peace building support to help countries make the difficult yearly transition from conflict to peace. There are 3 basic principles that continue to set UN peacekeeping operations apart as a tool for maintaining international peace and security: consent of the parties, impartiality, and non-use of force except in self-defense and defense of the mandate. Role of Security Council क्या है तो the United Nations Charter give the United Nations Security Council the responsibility to maintain international peace. The Security Council authorizes peacekeeping operations through Chapter 7 authorization. Financing क्या है तो all UN member states share the cost of peacekeeping. The General Assembly apportions these expenses based on a special scale of assessment, taking into account the relative economic wealth of member state, with the permanent member of the Security Council required to pay a larger share. UN peacekeepers are often referred to as blue berets or blue helmets because of their light blue berets or helmets. Present status क्या है तो there are currently 12 UN peacekeeping operations deployed. For its service, UN peacekeeping has also received the Nobel Prize in 1988. अगला इंडिया यूरोपियन फ्री ट्रेड एसोसिएशन EFTA ट्रेड पैक्ट. India and the 4-nation bloc EFTA recently discussed way to resume negotiation for free trade agreement with a view to strengthening economic tie between two regions. About European Free Trade Association क्या है तो EFTA क्या है तो it is an intergovernmental organization established in 1960 by the Stockholm Convention. Objective क्या है तो promote free trade and economic integration between its member with Europe and globally. EFTA currently has 4 member countries: Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and Switzerland. The EFTA countries have developed one of the largest network of free trade agreement FTAs. These FTAs span over 60 countries and territories. including the European Union (EU). In contrast to the EU, EFTA is not a custom union. This means that the individual EFTA states are free to set their own custom tariff and arrange other foreign trade measures via the non-EFTA state. गवर्नेंस स्टेटस क्या है? तो EFTA हाईएस्ट गवर्निंग बॉडी इज द EFTA काउंसिल. इट जनरली मीट 8 times a year at the ambassadorial level and twice a year at the ministerial level. The headquarters of EFTA Secretariat is located in Geneva. EFTA Surveillance Authority (ESA). It monitors compliance with European Economic Area (EEA) rules in Iceland, Liechtenstein, and Norway. EFTA Court is based on Luxembourg and has the competition and authority to settle internal and external disputes regarding the implementation, application, or interpretation of EEA agreement. अगला है इसराइल फ़लस्तीन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. तो इसे हम लोग अगले वीडियो लेक्चर में करेंगे. इस वीडियो लेक्चर को यहीं पर समाप्त करते हैं. उम्मीद है आपको यह वीडियो पसंद आया होगा. आप लोग कमेंट बॉक्स में ज़रूर बताएंगे आपको हमारी ये पहल कैसी लगी और आप इससे कितने लाभान्वित हुए हैं. तो मिलते हैं आपसे अगले वीडियो लेक्चर में. तब तक के लिए वीडियो को पढ़ते रहे, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा रिवाइज़ करें और वीडियो को जरूर शेयर करें उन लोगों तक जो इस बार का UPSC एग्जाम देने वाले हैं. तो मिलते हैं आपसे अगले वीडियो लेक्चर में. तब तक के लिए जय हिंद, जय भारत. रिवाइज़ करते रहें, पढ़ते रहें और एग्ज़ाम में अच्छा परफॉर्म करने की कोशिश करें.